What is up, everybody? Let's talk about speed because, all of us on these scooters, well, I say all of us, but most of us are just a bunch of speed freaks, let's be honest. And we want to go fast, like Ricky Bobby. So, what do we got to do to go fast? We have to not get to intersections. That's what we need to do if we want to go fast. Man, this is busy. It's busier than normal. Okay, here we go. And can I go again? And I can go again. All right. Now, back to going fast. So, no matter what we're talking about, I'm going to sound like a broken record because going fast and body position are very closely linked together. Since I'm behind this guy right now, I know I'm going uphill and he's not going very fast, but we're going to talk about a little bonus nugget for going fast, and that has to do with drafting. So when you ride your scooter, you basically are a wall going against the wind. And there's no real avoiding that entirely, but there are things that we can do. So drafting is a big one. Basically right now, I am using the guy in front of me as my windscreen so that he does all the work. So it's going to conserve motor life and it's going to help me go faster if that is my overall goal. Obviously right now I'm going quite slow because I'm just stuck behind the guy. But let's just pretend for all intents and purposes that this guy's going fast and I'm behind him. I would want to lower myself down, make my body as small as I can, and let that wind just go off of him, and I'm basically trying to avoid it the whole time. That's what we want to do. Now, when there isn't a large RV, well, I guess this one's just a fifth wheel trailer, but if there isn't a large vehicle in your way, it's a smaller vehicle, the same kind of stuff applies. We want to get as small as possible. So there's a few ways that we're going to do this. Man, so many cars today. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to bend down. As we bend down, we're going to shove that butt out. So this is going to create a wind stream that's just going to slip right behind us. That is what we want to do. I have got a hill coming up and I'll show you what to do when we get to the hill as well, because that's where this actually goes into effect. Because when you're going down a hill, you have more forces pushing against you. And so you want to get as small as you can, and then you want to angle yourself forward a bit so that all that wind just goes off of your waist and off to the side. And that's going to help you get higher speeds, especially going down hills. And getting low like that also lowers your center of gravity, making you more stable. So it's a win-win. You go fast, you go safe. It's good. So going down this hill, I'm just going to get down. I'm not going to put my chin below my handlebars because that's when things can get a little squirrely. And I'm just going to stick that butt out, let the whole world look at it, and let that wind just breeze on by. This also puts me in a great position with what's coming up right now to just get into a solid braking position. Because part of going fast is being able to slow down. Because if all you do is go fast, eventually you got to stop, right? So we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success so that we can go fast and we can do it safely. Which also reminds me, you want to have proper safety gear if you're ever trying to push speed, push your limits. So from mechanics standpoint, body mechanics anyways, that's what we want to do. And then we want to turn with our hips. You can try and turn with your shoulders, but in order to do that, you're going to be up in a higher position, which is going to slow you down because you have that wind resistance. When you turn with your hips, it's going to keep that center of gravity low, and it's going to keep you more stable when you do turn. The other thing we want to do is we want to stay in a straight line as best as we can. Whenever you are turning, you're adding friction and you're slowing yourself down. So when you can stay in a straight line, you want to make sure you do it. And if you can't be in a straight line, you want to make very small adjustments. So we're coming up to 2 4-way intersections, and then after that, we're going to be on some curves, and we're going to pick our line and stick to it. The line, when you ride, you want to make sure that you have small adjustments. You don't have to be full throttle the whole time to go fast either. There's some times where it's faster for you to slow down a little bit and then go back to full throttle after a turn or an obstacle or something. So now here, oh, we got a school bus. Man, talk about inconvenient for me wanting to talk about going fast. It's all this traffic. This never happens, ever. I guess it's just a case of the Mondays. Oh well. And turn. And turn. Oh, he's turning. All right, guys. We're back in business. So, back in that low position. And throughout these turns, we're just going to stay in that low position and make very small adjustments when we're turning. That's it. Now we're coming out to this 4-way that I have to yield if there's any cars in there. There's not, so I can continue to go straight. And now we go back to a straightaway. Now this straightaway leads up to a pretty steep or a pretty sharp turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wide. So I'm going to start on the outside. It's a left-hand turn. And then I'm going to ease off the throttle for a second. And I'm going to go into that inside part of the lane. So off the throttle at the crest and throttle back on. Here we go. Now I'm going to avoid all these bumps because the bumps and the divots, those are going to decrease my speed. I have a lot of gear on right now, and so it's going to slow me down a bit. Usually I get up to the top of the hill here at about 27, and I'm already down to 26. So what gear you have with you, that's also going to make a difference too. But if we want to go fast through our turns, we want to start on the outside and then work our way to the inside. The best way to handle your turns to go fast and to do it with control is slow in, fast out. So a common mistake people will make is they'll go full throttle until the very last second, then they'll go to the middle of the turn. That's when they're going to brake. And that's going to actually slow you down much more than if you are to just go into it slow and then out of it fast, because that also makes it so that it's harder to control. And that is not what we want. So that is it as far as the body mechanics go, and that little special bit about drafting. The other thing that you want to make sure is that your scooter is well maintained. You want to have your bearings properly lubricated. You want to make sure that you have your tires properly inflated, and make sure that all of your bolts are tight where they need to be. So that way the scooter can do all of the work and there's no added friction or loss to you going fast. Typically, I can take this one down on a dry day, get about 39, 40, and looks like today we're at about 38. So there's a lot of different factors that play into it. I have to do some maintenance on my scooter, but you can get more speed out of it without having to spend extra money on upgraded controllers and everything. I don't get me wrong, those are nice, and I like to have one, but my scooter does well for me at this point, and I'm just going to leave it as is. So if you don't want to spend extra money on going fast, properly maintain your scooter and practice your body position. Body position is key in all things scooter related. I wish I had a way to make that rhyme. It would have been cool. But anyways, that is all I have. If you guys have any other tips for going fast, please add them below. I'm going to finish the rest of my ride, so y'all have fun, be safe, make good choices. Have a great day.